Hello YouTube, it's Si here from Si Moto Photo. Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got my hands on this a magnificent looking Triumph Daytona 660. There's been a lot of controversy around the internet, lots of different people with different opinions, but this is the first time I've ridden this bike, so come on with me today. I'm going to throw my leg over it, I'm going to take it for a ride, and I'm going to tell you what I think of the bike, so come on, let's go for a ride. Right, welcome aboard the Daytona 660. Well, this is a bike that's set the internet on fire. Lots and lots of mixed opinions. Should they have made it with a Daytona name? All sorts of different things floating about. Well, disclaimer, I've never ridden this bike before. This is the first time I've set foot in this bike, or set my bum in this bike. And I've done a couple of hours on it this morning, just to get a feel for it as I normally do. And I want to give you my feedback about how it rides. No surprise, right? I'm really enjoying it. It's a really nice bike to ride. It's got quite the riding position, your feet are up quite high. They're not quite, you know, super bike high, but they are definitely up high. And the bars, although they're not below the yokes, you're still in a semi-tuck when you're sitting in the bike. But it is comfortable for a sports bike. It's got a beautiful seat on it. The seat's really nice, really plush. There's quite a bit of room even for my big fat backside. And it really handles well. It handles lovely. Now the suspension on the bike, it's got sure big piston forks up front. They're not adjustable, but they're quality shocks, right? And if you're anything like me, you'll buy a bike, hardly touch the suspension at all because it's a blooming dark art, and you never change it for the day you buy it unless you take it to someone professional to set the bike up. Well, the Triumph engineers have done, you know, their bit to make sure that this bike's set up for sporty road riding. And my big fat body at 18.5 stone, it's handling it really nice. Now the shock, you can adjust the shock so you can sort of stiffen it up or soften it down a bit if you want to, but it really handles nice. It's firm, but it's not overly firm. It's firm but plush at the same time, and the noise off that engine is absolutely gorgeous. Now they have retuned this engine. They do use it in the Trident and the Tiger Sport platform, but it's been retuned. Listen to this. Oh my god, it sounds lovely, man. It's been retuned for this engine, and it's putting out now just shy of 100 horsepower. And let's be honest, 100 horsepower on the road is plenty for anybody. Now, if anybody has watched the channel for a while, you'll know that I've got a sports bike background. I was a big fan of superbikes and all the rest of it. And to be perfectly honest, I just get bored of them. I got to a point in my riding career where every time I was going out in the sports bike, I felt as if it was a really serious ordeal, you know, full leathers on, and you know, away you go, and you had to put up with the really bad roads in Scotland for half an hour, 45 minutes, juddering yourself to death before you actually got to the decent roads. And then it was a blast, but then you had to put up with the rotten roads on the way back. Well, this is more compliant. You know, yeah, it doesn't have the willy waving screaming 200 horsepower of a superbike, or even 130 of a super sport, but you don't have that extreme riding position, and you don't have the extreme suspension setup that just makes it hard work. It's just a nice road bike. Now I get that this bike's had a lot of stick in the press just because of the predecessor of the Daytona was a super cutting edge sports bike, but prior to that, you know, Daytonas of old were never really that. You know, a lot of Daytonas old, they were like sports tourers and various other examples of the Daytona over the years. But it's only, you know, the last generation or two that they decided to take it down the real sort of cutting edge sports bike route, and the market has changed. I think people are tired of that kind of thing on the road, and you know, with the state of the roads and how sharp the police are out finding you, speeding and misbehaving, they've just become kind of semi-irrelevant on the road. If you're going to buy it as a track weapon, fair enough, but something for the road, this makes perfect sense, and let's be honest, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So there we go, folks, the Triumph Daytona 660. What do you think of this? What do you think of the styling of it? Look, I love the way the lines in this tank are, the way it's sculpted. This pearlescent white finish paint is absolutely gorgeous, really, really nice. The bike's punching out of that triple engine, 95 horsepower, and it's got 69 newton meters of torque. Now the peak horsepower's coming in at 11,250 revs, and the torque's coming in at 8,250 at 69 newton meters. It's got 17-inch wheels on it, and it's running on a 120/17 at the front and a 180/17 at the back. You've got Showa 41mm upside down big piston forks. Now these big piston forks they're well set up. You know, look at the size of me in this bike. You would think they'd be bottoming out. They're not. They're actually really fine. Whatever the engineers have done at the factory, they've set them up for nice, spirited, sporty road riding, but they've done a really good job. And if you're anything like me, as I mentioned, you know, I never touch suspension, to be honest. So for me, a non-adjustable suspension is probably a pretty good idea, because I don't need to worry my head about, is it set in the right setting, or is it not set in the right setting? It's good to go. So the rear shock on the bike's a Showa monoshock, and you can adjust it. There's a little spanner for adjusting the preload at the back, and that'll just sort of tighten the chassis up for you if you want, or loosen it off if you want it a wee bit more compliant. Then you've got Triumph branded brakes on the bike, and as I mentioned in the ride, the stopping power's fantastic on them, but more impressive for me is the feel that you get through the lever when you're squeezing that brake lever. It gives you loads and loads of feedback through the lever, and you can feel exactly what the brakes are doing. Now it's hauling you up. There's a 310mm front disc on it, and there's a 220mm rear disc on it, so the brakes are absolutely fine. So you've got an 810mm seat height. Now, as I say, I'm 6 foot, just 6 foot bang on the nose. I've got a 32-inch inside leg, and I've got a bend in my leg, and I'm flat-footed, both sides here. You've got a 14-litre fuel tank, and the wet weight of the bike is 201 kilograms. So it's not a heavy bike. It's not super lightweight like one of your mega cutting-edge super sports, but it's definitely not a heavy bike. It feels really nice to ride. Out of that 14-litre fuel tank, it says you're getting 57 miles to the gallon. So I don't know if that works out in real life, because I know that these figures sometimes are a wee bit off the mark with what you get in real life. But I've done a fair few miles today, and I've certainly found it's not been thirsty in the slightest. It's done really well in the fuel economy. You know, you've got LED lighting all the way around. You've got gorgeous daytime running lights. You've got LED indicators and LED tail light, and you've also got room for a pillion in the back. The seat in the bike is actually really, really comfortable, and you've got a big enough pillion pad here for putting a passenger on the back, and your pegs fold out for a passenger as well, and they're quite low down, which means they're not going to be sitting with their knees up at their chin. You can also buy like a single seat kill that will go in the back of the bike as well. So they do the bike in 3 colours, and I'll put the colours up at the bottom here, right? But they do the bike in this white, they do it in a satin granite, and they do it in a carnival red as well. All cracking looking colours, and the bike's 8595. 8595 in this white is 8695 in the granite of the carnival red. Do you know what, I've been looking at Honda bringing out their CBR 600, a gorgeous looking bike as well. You know, and it just shows you that, you know, Honda are doing really, really well. They're selling lots and lots of bikes, and the guys at Honda know what they're doing, and they're going down the same route. Triumph are going down the same route as Honda. You know, but in my experience before selling their bikes is they're quite high revving, and they, especially when they're 600cc or there or thereabouts, they maybe lack a little bit of grunt, low end and mid-range, and this is where the Triumph comes into its own, because you've got the triple engine in the bike. You know, the triple engine is giving you the best of both worlds. It's giving you that low down grunt that the triple engine delivers in spades, but it also gives you not quite the same top end as the 4, but not far off it. You know, there's a lot of these bikes going about like this, like R7s and things that are maybe, you know, twin cylinders, and they're great fun, absolutely brilliant, but they may be a wee bit less refined in this to ride. I think the biggest thing that you're going to find get out in one of these is the refinement. It's got 4-cylinder refinement, and it's got not quite but not far off twin cylinder grunt. You know, it's just that really sweet, real sort of superb sweet spot in between, and it just goes to show, you know, that the triple cylinder engine, it could be you know, the ultimate engine for a motorcycle. You know, I think a lot of the big super bikes, they're switching over to V4s. I think they've found that the V4 seems to be the perfect configuration for the big, you know, super bike models, especially in MotoGP and things like that. But you know, there's MotoGP have gone with their Moto2 series, and they've went with the triple engine again. So you know, does that tell you that the triple engine is the ultimate configuration for a middleweight? I think it might just be, because with that, you know, perfect blend of power and grunt and performance, it's just a hoot to ride. It's great fun to ride. What a bike. Do you know, Triumph have brought this bike in at a price point, right? It's 8,600 quid or something like that, right? 8,695 for a bike that looks this good, rides this well, and is a bike that you can live with on a daily basis. See, for me, if you're looking for a bike that's got a sporty look about it, handles really well, it doesn't break the bank, this is a no-brainer. It's a fantastic bike to ride, and boy oh boy does it sound nice as well. Listen to this again. Oh, kill the speed, kill the speed, kill the speed. What a bike. The Triumph Daytona 660. Massive thumbs up for me. Get yourself a shot of one of these, you will really enjoy the ride of it. And there's a vicious rumour circulating the internet that there's going to be an off-the-shelf race pack from Peter Hickman Racing that's going to be available as an accessory for the bike. Superb. So get yourself in, get a shot of one, you're going to love it. Well, there you go, the Daytona 660. What a blast that was. It was great fun. Enjoyed it. Really enjoyed riding it today. You know, if you could get your head around the fact that the bike is, they've moved away from the sort of super sport, no compromise sports bike, and more towards a road focus, and actually appreciate the bike for what it is, I think you'll enjoy it. I think, you know, get it out and get a shot of it yourself, see what you think of it. It's a really, really nice road bike. It's a really nice bike to ride, and it's something I think that you could enjoy living with on a daily basis. It's a fantastic bike. I want to say a huge thanks to the guys at West Coast Triumph in Glasgow, because without West Coast Triumph I wouldn't be able to do all this stuff. You know, I'm very lucky in that I work there, and the management team there give me access to these bikes. I really, really appreciate it. It lets me give you guys some feedback about how the bikes ride. You know, if you're considering buying a Triumph, or you know, it's something that's on your radar, I'm hoping that I can add a wee bit of value and help you decide for yourself, you know, what bikes to narrow down your search to. But if you've enjoyed the content and you've enjoyed the channel, thanks very much for watching. Please like the videos, comment in the comment section. Any interaction helps us no end, and if you want to donate some fuel or a coffee to the channel, you can do so in the link. Finally, if you've enjoyed the content and you would like to subscribe to the channel, please consider doing so, because it helps the channel out and it helps get the channel out to other people. But thanks again for tuning in to Sci Moto Photo. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, man.